Women, what's something that immediately kills your interest in a man? Interrupting me frequently or only talking about himself. Being sexual right off the bat, talking over me, being rude to service industry people. Bragging about how many other women are after him. Cruelty to animals. It's a sign. Show off, disrespect, mean. Cruelty towards other people. Trying to sell his moral character to me. Talking about how loyal he is or what a great dad he is. How all his friends turn to him if they ever need help, then has literally nothing nice to say about anyone in his life. Putting down his own friends and family and pointing out their weaknesses because he would never do what they do. Overly aggressive guys who try and pick fights with other guys. We aren't gorillas, that's not gonna impress me. Calm down, Brad. Immediately asking for sex or nudes, calls me pet names 5 seconds after we met. When they don't express genuine interest in you as a person regularly and in a way that forms secure attachment. Put down their friends in front of women. Lying. It's a libido killer, for sure. Bad hygiene, honestly. Littering. Hot and cold behavior playing games. No, it doesn't make me more interested in you. Narcissistic personality tendencies. Or just plain narcissists. We all figure you out eventually. Met this guy. Had a night of incredible sex and I was ready for another round until he got up to go to the bathroom. He had a massive case of the runs, which I totally understand, but he came back to bed without washing his hands. I asked him to please wash his hands if he's thinking about getting back into bed with me. His response was, "But there's no shit on my hands, so why do I have to wash up?" Absolutely killed all interest I had. When you first start chatting, especially if it's online, and they start sliding in the questions and edging their way in to talk about sex. It puts me straight off, permanently. What are you wearing right now? Oh, you say it's hot there right now, well maybe I can cool down. Oh, I'm in my hot tub. All the bubbles. Delicious. So what did you say you were wearing then? I mean, it's so disrespectful because it's so transparent and they seem to think they're not being transparent. Off-putting. Not mentioning they have kids on the first date and coming to find out later. Too sexually forward before I've indicated any sexual interest. Won't play a cleric or other support class. On the last date I had, I ordered a glass of red Zinfandel wine. My date looked at the server and said, "She means white Zinfandel." Then he looked at me and said, "It's a blush." What an idiot. I too much all about you. Degrading me or someone else and saying it's a joke. If your sense of humor is at the expense of someone else's comfort or well-being, you're not funny, you're just a POS. And yes, I can take a joke. Putting down other women and saying you are different or special. That just tells me that you think of women you aren't interested in as disposable beings or sluts or whatever less than thing, and deep down that's also how you'll think of me if I ever displease you. Victim mentality. Having a wife and kids. Throwing garbage in the street, such a small act that tells so much about someone. Mean. A recent example. Met a guy, not romantically, and he just starts bragging about everything like his income, his feats in sports, how much help he gets from friends and family. Just like toxic positivity or something. Immediate turn-off from even wanting to be friends. Also smoking. If he has a superiority complex. If he talks down to or reacts negatively to anyone for no reason, I'm done. Being rude to waiters, waitresses. When he puts women down and think they're beneath him. Fighting about anything that 2 seconds of Google searching would show him to be incorrect about. It's okay to not know things. Say you don't know or express a level of uncertainty if you aren't sure. And if you find out that you are wrong about something and fight that reality versus just saying whoops and changing your perspective moving on, you have issues. Aggression. When he explains how different he is from other guys. That's a sure sign that he's exactly the same as everyone he's comparing himself to. When he complains about women not liking him and he is a nice guy that wants a traditional woman. I find those guys are generally not nice, nor do they want a traditional woman, since they can't even afford to take care of themselves. I am starting to feel like a keeper after reading all this stuff. My goodness. My teeth are kinda jacked up though. Telling women that they need to accept cheating because every man is going to do it and it's natural. If he's chronically in relationships. Chewing tobacco. It's just always been a really gross habit, and I don't want to be with a guy who is constantly spitting. It's gross. Instant turn off. I remember in school, boys having water bottles half full of disgusting brown spit they carried everywhere. And the shit would sometimes get caught in their teeth. Yuck. Not using a turn signal. Being pushy about boundaries, and especially intimacy boundaries. Being mean to wait staff. Calling women females unless it's in a scientific context. Lamau also, fucking lying and being immature, thinking everything is a joke. Annoying. Bad hygiene, including at their place, overly aggressive driving for no reason, inability to be wrong, constantly talks over you, thinks they're always right, has no friends, and their only goal is to find a partner. Misogyny, entitlement to women's bodies. I've had a lot of bad dating experiences, I can go on. Ha. Well, recently, I discovered I can't stand when a guy tries to guilt me into seeing them. Immediately lost all affection for him. I have been on multiple dates where they didn't ask me a single question about myself and monologued, and then when I said I wasn't feeling a connection said, but we have so much in common, complaining about women as a whole, and no, telling me I am an exception doesn't help. Lecturing me in a superior tone, bonus demerits if it's something I have actual expertise in and they don't. Casual homophobia or other bigotry. I may be a straight cis white woman, but that doesn't mean I agree. Arrogance, bad hygiene, misogyny, possessiveness, jealousy over very small things, violent, explosive when angry. Mistreating his mother. Talk too much about himself or indirectly explain to me why I should have sex with him on that first date. Making sex feel obligatory. Surprised no one said this yet, but following a million different girls on social media. IG models, OnlyFans girls, etc. etc. You look pathetic. I'm a man who hates seeing guys not wear socks with shoes. I immediately think their feet stink because mine do if I didn't wear socks. Yay or nay on bare feet in shoes? His way or the highway? Bye. Asking for nudes repeatedly. Being a crappy person, misogynistic, selfish, not thoughtful or empathetic, immaturity, emotional and otherwise, men who don't listen, speak over women, men who are spoiled, etc. Never shuts up about himself. As a man who's chewed tobacco in the past, I'm flabbergasted that it didn't make it to the top. It's a disgusting habit and you should stop it if you do it. Females. He says he's an alpha. He approached all my friends and is only talking to me because they turned him down. He's conservative. Misogyny and or bigotry. Racism. Andrew Tate said, "Most women are hoes, men have it so much harder these days, things used to be good, my ex was crazy, etc." Abuse. Skiddy underpants. Following tons of half-naked Instagram models. I cannot stand it when a guy is too overeager and rushing everything.